Hello, good afternoon. It's Martin Hargreave here. We're all doing well. Today I'm bringing you my shuttle review. Shuttles kindly provided by YC oblique Central Sports. They've really kindly sent me three of 8 different types of shuttles. I added to the mix some Yangang 300Bs, which I've used in the past, and some young performance shuttles as well. So into the mix just to see exactly how to try and get a bigger comparison as I possibly could. Let me explain to you why I do this. Really, at the end of a club now, we all have tubes and tubes of shuttles. The Yonex AS30s is our kind of go-to shuttle. They're in the region of at least £24 a tube, so they effectively can save £2 a shuttle. So my bugbear is this. So there is a brand new shuttle which has been basically hit once in a game and a shot, and that is £2 right there. That's one. So if I were to go through this box, you'd find a lot. That's brand new. That's untouched. You'd find a lot of these shuttles that have had a single feather out. They're virtually brand new, single feather gone, and you can't even knock with them. They're horrendous. You can't play with them anymore. You can't knock with them. They're just a really, really terrible thing, and it is a massive bugbear. So at the end of this night, I've got probably about 40 to 50 shuttles in here, and I reckon 20 of them are literally one shot unknocked. So 20 times 2 quid, there's £25 wasted in the club, and we all know that money's tight in clubs. So it brings me to the subject of just trying to maybe have a look, and if I could persuade anybody to just to look outside the box a little bit. The Yonex A30s, everybody loves them, but realistically, there are some great options out there. And if you reach out to like YC Sports or Central Sports, they'll provide you with some options and just try, see if you can do. I don't know if they'll do what I did, so just ask them for, a couple of each type of shuttle and a couple of tubes, and they'll sell you them. And you just buy a couple of tubes, and on a club night you can lay them all out on the table in front of your members, and they can all try out like we did. So what I did is I laid out all these 11 different types of shuttles, 3 of each laid out across the table, and at the beginning of every single game I delivered a shuttle for that game. At the end of the game I took it back and I've saved it, and I have them here, no matter what the condition was, good or bad. So I can get a true representation from each shuttle, and the only exception to that was where one of the shuttles went mid-game, properly went, so unplayable. So I had, so the shuttles I had were 3 varieties from Li Ning G 700, 800, 900, all of speed 78. Speed was quite a critical one. The Yonex AS40s I had were actually speed 78 rather than 77 like the others. And that's quite an interesting one. If you're trying to save shuttles, maybe try increasing the speed. It forces players to take something off the shots to try and keep them in. That was a common comment from some. I really struggle to keep it in. So what you inevitably do is you watch how hard you hit it. What that saves shuttles. It's amazing. If you have some big hitters, if you have some guys at the gym like we do, they just love to smash it as hard as they possibly can, but as a consequence can't actually keep the shuttle in. Maybe try increasing the speed, and you might get a bit more life out of a different type of shuttle. And obviously, it comes to the next point, which is the money. So £24 a tube is fair enough, and I don't mind that so much, but I really object to it where you lose a single feather. It really is a pain. So I would advise something like the Humidome, which is obviously keeping moisture in the shuttle, which is a really handy thing. I'll get one of them to show you right now. Excuse me. So there's my Humidome. Sits on the end of a tube of shuttles, comes out, and you soak it in water. It's got little beads in it that suck moisture, take moisture in, and they apply moisture to the tube. And what it tends to do is it applies a bit of moisture to the feather itself, and hopefully that moisture will stop it cracking. I suppose if you add moisture to something, if you imagine, it just makes it more viable. It won't snap, but it'll bend back into place. It's not foolproof, but it's definitely worth trying to. If you go through a lot of shuttles, try to investigate, like I've done. You go through 4 or 5 tubes a week. You want to do all you can to try and make further life out of them, if only just to give you better knocks for next week, rather than just shuttles that are dead like we've got here. So this is my day, my weekly routine. Really, is to go through the shuttles and keep what's good and bad, and to get the knocks and get throughout the rest. So I'll go through this review with you. So the Li Ning G700, that's how they kind of fared. They look pretty good. That one's lost a single feather. but it looks pretty good. It's had a game out of it. The G700, it was actually really popular, so you can see there it's hardly touched after a single game. Plenty of life in that shuttle. Again, I don't actually know if that one's been hit. It's virtually brand new. I think it's brand new. G800, slightly, again, it's very similar, virtually unused. That one's been used, but you can see there, amazing, single game. They're all the same players, by the way. I think there was about 16 people at Club Night on Thursday. So, again, pretty good standard. I'm not sure the cost of these shuttles, I have to say. Reach out to YC Sports for that. The G800. Interesting, the G900 was actually the G900, which is the performance, which I believe actually lasted less time. There's the 900, which you can see there's had a bit of battering. It's really hard to measure because every game's different. You need to get the same people playing the same game the whole night, I suppose, to get a true measure. This is the RSL Classic. That's the RSL Classic. Again, a little bit of a crack off. It was okay. The cork's an interesting feeling. If you feel this, when you've got a line of variety of different shuttles out in a one, when you actually feel the cork themselves, you can get a feeling of how. I don't know if you know what I mean. When you hit a shuttle off the racket, sometimes you get a bit of a crack. And the cork it's just interesting. When you get a variety of shuttles, brand new shuttles on a table in front of you, and you can look at them and you just try and see the differences. It's quite interesting. This is the RSL. I think this is the RSL Classics. My vision is terrible. Do you know that? That is the RSL Classic. That one's been properly shot. Again, a bit battered. I'm not sure about that one actually. They're not great. That's not great as a review, I would say. The RSL Classic's not so bad. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. These are Snow Peaks 1101, and again they all look. When you look at them brand new, they look the same. You would never know. You never think, oh, that's a good one, that's a bad one. The feel is quite stiff. I think in the cork feels quite stiff, which will give you a feel. That one's virtually brand new. I think it might actually be brand new. And again, has not fared badly. Hasn't fared badly. I think that was actually quite a popular shuttle with Club. Here we are, Yang 300B, which is one of mine. It is actually quite a stiff cork when you feel it. But again, yeah, they last well. They do last well. They're not very popular because people just, I don't know what it is, traditionalist thing, I think. Everybody everybody says, we used to play with them, I used to play such and such, I used to coach with them, I used to learn with them, and it's interesting, isn't it? It becomes like something that's gone back in time, somebody like a memory, isn't it? You have a thing. These are Yonex AS50s, which are, I'm not sure exactly how much they cost. I reckon there must be 40 quid a tube, about £25 more. And like for our end, I think you have to be a certain level of player. You've got to have a very clean strike. And like I say, we've got some bodybuilders in our place, and they just batter it. And so it's bad enough that 24 quid a tube and to lose a single feather, but 40 quid a tube, that will kill me. That would kill me. To me, in our club, just not worth it. Just not worth the difference in cost. The S40s, these are a bit quicker, and that's what I was saying. Everybody was saying I couldn't keep them in, so they were taking the heat off them. But again, single feather gone out of a brand new shuttle, and that's probably 30 quid a tube, that one there. The S40s. The S30s, like I say, are around £24, which is our go-to shuttle. And they're pretty good. The cork, again, still pretty stiff. And the cork in all the Yonexes, I would say, feel very similar, even the 40s. The 30s, 40s, I would say the 30's got a little, it's a bit softer, the cork on the 30 compared to the 50, I suppose. A bit sorry about it. This is quite sad to go through this in such detail, but I do feel a bit passionate about it because we go through so many of them, and this elitist thing, these people that just refuse, and I had 9 different types of shuttle, and one guy said to me, he says, I'm not using that. I'm not using them. They're rubbish. I said, well, which one? He went, all of them, apart from Yonex. All of them. Like 9 different types of shuttle. He wouldn't even entertain the idea. I said, well, you haven't even tried them. I know, but they're rubbish. Well, how do you know? Kind of thing. But it just goes to show you how, this is I went through my tube, through the box, and it's funny what you find. I think that might be a Carlton. I didn't ring it, so I don't know where it's come from. There's a Carlton. There's a Yelex. Again, bit battered. I actually been collecting these so I can saw them in half later on, and I can see exactly what the view. There's another Yelex red. Don't know what they're like. Yonex Performance. There's a Young's. I'm not very happy with those. That was a bad buy, I feel. It was at a time where I think one of the issues I have also with Shuttles is that it's supply and demand. I was trying to find something which would consistently be available. The Yonex AS30s are great shuttles. Everybody loves them, right? Everybody loves them. And the problem with that is you get demand issues. And you just, in badminton, you need to have... I just wanted to find a consistent supply, somebody that wasn't going to run out, somebody that wasn't going to have, because everybody, they just run out, and I don't know what the market is. I really don't know. I tried to think about how big the market for badminton shuttles could be, and our club spend about £100. Let's say if there were 2,000 clubs in the UK, 2,000, but it's a lot of money every week. It's probably worth, I don't know, maybe £200,000 or £300,000 a month. Must be about £1 million a year. It's got to be for the badminton shuttles. And like I say, the more you can limit how you can limit that, the better. Anyway, so that's really it. That was all the shuttles. That was them all used. It was a really great exercise. I would recommend it for absolutely anybody. If you have a requirement for shuttles for your clubs, please reach out to YC or Central Sports, who helped me out a lot with a lot of different things. And I would definitely recommend trying out these the Snow Peaks. Snow Peak C1101 Speed 78. They were a good shuttle, really good shuttle, and you'll find them less expensive than the Yonex AS30s. And listen, the worst comes to worst, try a couple of tubes, see how you go on, but don't tell your members, because the Yonex Elite people won't be happy. But I guess just try something a bit different, I suppose. But there's a huge science in shuttles construction, feathers, whiteness, corks. I'll do some more on this, on dissecting these. Once these shuttles are properly shot, I'll dissect each and every one of them so you can see down the middle, and let's see where the cork is constructed, and we'll get to see how this where this feeling comes from. It's a solid piece of cork or divided by lits of airy cork, and which can make a difference to the strike. So anyway, I do rabbit on. I'm really sorry. I hope you're all doing well. Take care, and we'll speak again soon. I'll post this up, and please reach out if you have any comments, any thoughts, any recommendations for different shots to try and test. That'd be great. Happy to do all of those things. Same with any equipment, I suppose. Quite happy to review whatever you like. So it's all good. I'm here for it. Okay, take care. Have a great week, and speak soon. Enjoy your badminton. Bye.